For every time there was bad stuff, there was an RVD Jerry Lynn. There was
Right.
Sandman and Tommy Dreamer and Raven. There was there was good stuff there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like sometimes when you talk to someone who liked ECW, there's this idea that like if it was around now, it would be great and all this stuff would be happening. And it feels
it
feels like that's to the other thing I'll say in ECW's defence, which I know I shouldn't really be doing, is the rise and fall of ECW. I think is the best documentary WWE ever done.
I agree. I think it's an inspiring documentary. Actually, it's great. It just, and again, it highlights that all come together, mentality that that locker room had of like, and that's testament to Heyman. And people always say people drank the Heyman Kool-Aid, but they did. You've drank it before.
I've drank a bit of it myself.
That's why he's got his merchandise on the desk. But no, look, Heyman was great at making people feel like they were in this together, doing this as a team, and that really worked. And it felt like this. The ECW guys felt like they were ECW for life. They bled ECW, and some of them, literally did that. And you don't have any of the promotion where the wrestlers, and if you get wrestlers to be passionate about something, then you're probably onto a winner, as far as I'm concerned.
The thing, throughout what we've been talking about today, the other, and I've mentioned it earlier, ECW was never able to break past what they had. They were a small time promotion. They did get bigger houses towards the end, but they were never able to break. They were just never able to get to the level of WWF, WCW, and I think that you got to look at that and go, why?
You can't always billion backers for one.
But you can't always look at Billy Corgan. He was somebody who wanted to buy ECW. The deal wasn't there because it just what was being offered to him was not a good deal.
No, sure.
If Billy Corgan now owns the NWA, why did that not happen? It always feels like there's a something else caused it. But eventually you got to maybe think ECW was maybe just this thing that was a great live experience. It was a great thing to follow, but it was never going to be. It was never going to be big. It was never going to be a thing that you take your kids to, or
sure, yeah.
And that's I think something that it struggles with.
It was appealing to a niche, which if you appeal to a niche, there's a ceiling. You're never going to get that family friendly audience, the kids, whatever, teenagers, etc. Yeah, sure. ECW was stuck in that difficult middle ground of it was too small, to be big, but too big to be small, and because of that, it was spending a lot of money trying to be big, but didn't have enough money to sustain that. But it was then too big to go back to being small because it was on pay-per-view and TV, and I need paying for it. So it's a difficult one. Like they always seem to be on the cusp of the next thing, the video game. That'll be the game-changing thing, or getting on TNN, or now we're on pay-per-view, and that not in that order. But those things were always this is the next level, next step for ECW. But Paul Heyman's very good at sort of, well, it was this, and it's not always this. It's like sometimes it is just like you say, maybe it just reached its peak. That was it. That was ECW's. That was as far as it could go with the sort of style and such that they were doing, and that's okay. Like not everything has to compete with WWE and be a big rival number two. But I think its place in history as a revolutionary force should be accepted. I think it is an important part of the business, even though it was quite a short period of time. I think what it did was quite important.